Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be finishing 9706 slash 21 May-June 2025 paper 2, and we're covering question number 4 in this video. So you can check out the other solutions for the other questions in the link down below. Now before we get started, I would like to appreciate my supporters. Thank you, Luca, for supporting this channel. I read all the comments, so thank you so much. So let's get started. Question number 4 says, Amira's business uses absorption costing. Part A, define the following terms: cost center, fixed cost, and indirect labor. So cost center, this is the center whereby the costs come in from all around the company. They come into the cost center. Now from the cost center, the costs are now distributed to the rest of basically the departments. So that's the cost center. The marking scheme says a department where service can be attributed. The next part Roman 2 says fixed cost. Now fixed costs are those costs that do not change when the output changes. For example, if we're producing maybe curtains or bricks, let's say. Now in our bricks company, we have to have equipment whereby we manufacture the bricks. Now, where are we going to manufacture the bricks if we don't have our own place? So we're going to have to rent a company. We're going to have to rent somewhere. Now, even though we don't have high output, we still have to pay a fixed amount of money of rent. So rent is an example of fixed cost. Roman 3, indirect labor. Indirect labor is labor that does not directly affect the profitability of the business. Here it says the cost of employees whose work cannot directly identified with the finished product. Okay, next part says additional information. The business operates 2 production departments. We have processing and assembly. And it operates 2 service departments, maintenance and stores. The following budget information is available. Overheads, we have rent and depreciation. Production, service, we have this information. Now the question says, B, complete the table to show the total overheads for each department and the reapportionment of service department overhead. So first of all, when you see something like this, don't start getting stressed. It's actually very simple. So this is how we're going to solve it. First of all, you must understand what is this. So this question is basically, I don't remember under what topic. Yeah, I think it's under cost. The topic of cost, if I'm not mistaken. So how we're going to solve this? So we're going to let's start. So rent, what we're going to write here. So for rent, first of all, we must understand what is rent. So rent is the money that is paid when we don't permanently own a facility. So here, rent is calculated in floor area or square meters. It's definitely not calculated in machine cost or the number of machines. Definitely not stores requisition. So it's calculated in floor area. For example, if we have maybe a company that we rent, we have 2 companies. First one is 4 square meters, which is impossible, but let's use it as an example. So 4 square meters, and then another company is 8 square meters. Of course, the company with 4 square meters is going to have lower rent because it has lower floor area. So To solve this question, we're going to find the sum of the floor area, the processing, assembly, maintenance, and stores. So 140 plus 85 plus 33 plus with 42. We get 300. Now, this is where personally I like so much. So the total of these ones is going to be 400. Hey, 400? No, 300, sorry. Yeah. 300. So the total of the floor area is going to be 300. This one. Anyway, after that, what we're going to do is we're going to find the fraction. So to find the amount that we're going to put here is going to be, first of all, we're going to take each section. First of all, we're going to start with processing. Then we're going to do assembly, maintenance, and then stores. So let's start with processing. Processing amount is going to be 140. 140 divided by 300. Yeah, that's not good. Anyway, then multiply it by the total of rent, which is given here, which is 63,000. Okay guys, so let me see if I can visualize this onto the table. Okay, let's see. Okay, here. So this is how we're going to do it. The amount that it was is going to be 29,400. So we're going to put it like this. Yeah, like that, if I'm not wrong. Okay, for the next part, we're going to find the amount of assembly, which is this one. So what we do, we take assembly, 85 divide by 300. 85 divided by 300 hopefully you can see that better. Okay, having a little problem, just a minute. Okay, 85 divided by 300, and then we will multiply. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, 85 divided by 300 multiplied with rent, the amount of rent, 63,000. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So let's put in the calculator. 85 divided by 300, then we multiply it with the amount of rent, which is 63,000. Then you put the amount here, 17. $17,850. 850. Okay, 17,850, that's for assembly. Now for maintenance, it's going to be the same thing. 33. Hopefully you guys are understanding. 33 divided by 300 multiplied by 63,000. 63,000. 3,930. 6,930. 6,930. Just like that. And then for the next one, it's going to be stores. 42 divided by 300, which is the total. Multiply it with 63,000, which is the amount of rent. Yes. I was just double checking something. Okay. 8,820. Okay, now that's the amounts for rent. You can find the sum of them and put it on the total column. 29,400, 17,850, 6,930, and lastly 8820. Then you put 63,000, which is correct. 63,000. Okay, now for depreciation, we follow a very similar method. Depreciation. Now, guys, what is depreciation? Depreciation, I think I explained this in a previous video, but if not, I'm going to make another video covering depreciation in more detail. So depreciation is the decrease in the value of the goods or service. No, is the decrease in the value of goods over time. For example, maybe you have a machine which you've had it for like 4 years. Obviously, it's not going to be as new as it was when you purchased it. It will decrease in value. So that decrease in value is depreciation. And appreciation is an increase in value. So that's how it is. So decrease in value is really all about the machinery cost. Okay, so we're going to take the machinery cost. Similar to what we did, sum up all the machinery cost values, these guys, find the total first. So let's do that. 120,000 plus with 36,000 plus with 20,000 plus with 4,000. We get 180,000. So let's save that amount over here. Where can we save it? Let's save it. Hey. Okay. I'm not sure where we can save it. Let me try to erase this first. Give me a second, guys. Let me quickly erase this so I can have more space. Okay. So let's do it here. Machinery depreciation. Okay, no, sorry. We're gonna put the total machine cost. This is not necessary, but it's gonna help us to remember the total amount. Okay. Now the total machine cost was going to... Okay, there's a little problem here. Let's just put it over here. Total The total was 180,000. Okay, let's continue. So the total was 180,000. Now this is what we're going to do. I'm pretty sure you'd have guessed it by now. 120,000 divided by 180,000 multiplied by depreciation, 45,000. We get 30,000. So 30,000 is going to be the amount for depreciation processing. 30,000. This thing is very, very weird. $30,000. Okay, 30,000. Now let's do the same thing, just like 30 more times. 36,000 divided by 180,000 multiplied by 45,000, 9,000. Okay, now for 20,000 divided by the total 180,000 then multiplied by 45,000. 5,000 stores. Stores. 4,000 divided by 180,000 multiplied by 45,000. It's gonna be 1,000. Now guys, please comment your questions, concerns. Maybe if you want me to explain a little bit faster in the next video, just let me know. And also guys, I have a website, you can check it out on my channel. Okay. Okay, now we finished this line. Now guys, something you need to know is that each line, for each row that we answer, is going to be 1 mark. And by that I mean 1 mark for this line, 1 mark for this row, like that. Okay, let's find the total first before we move on. 30,000, 9,000, 5,000, 1,000, 45,000, which is correct because, guys, notice when we find the total, it must equal the total here. So the total of rent must be 63,000. The total depreciation must be 45,000. Okay, because we're just dividing the expenses that were given in the beginning. Now, after this, we're just going to find the total and put the total of everything down here. Because remember, we're just trying to find the subtotal. So let's begin. Okay. Okay, let's move the calculator there. Okay, so just a minute. Okay. The total is going to be 5,776 plus 63,000 plus 45,000. 678 and 760. That's the amount.
You don't answer.
And then after that, it's going to be the amount we're going to put here will be sorry about that, guys. That was just my brothers. Okay, let's move on. I'm having a problem here. Six, 7, 8, 760. Six, 7, 8, 760. For the next part, we're just going to find the total of each segment. Okay, guys, so these are the totals of of each of these segments. So now let us check in the marking scheme. Okay, as you can see, so far we've got it correct up till there. So as you can see, guys, each row has 1 mark, from the rent to depreciation, and also subtitle. For some reason, subtitle we don't have any marks because we're just finding the total. Okay, guys, so hopefully now that you've understood the format of how to actually solve these questions, it will be much easier to solve it, and I won't have to keep going to this other tab. Okay, so now from now on, we're just gonna solve using the question paper and the marking scheme. So where did we end? We stopped at subtotal. Now how do we find the reabsorption stores? So this is what we're going to do. So we've got this amount. So the way we do it is we're going to find, first of all, we're going to take the total of our store requisitions, this one. So it's going to be the total. So we take 48, plus it with 74, plus it with 18. We get 140. So 140 is our total for stores requisitions. So now what we're going to do, we take 40, we're going to find each one, processing, assembly, and maintenance. Starting with processing, we will take 48 divided by the total, 140, multiplied by our total of, our subtotal of reapportion stores. So it's going to be this one, 64,400. Multiplied by 64,400. We get 22 and 80, which we're going to put it just under processing and our reabsorption stores. So it's going to be right here. And then after that, for assembly, we do the same method. 74, 140, 6, 400, 34 and 40. We're gonna put it here. For maintenance, same thing. 18 divided by 140 multiplied by 64,400. Then you get 8,280, which we're going to put it right here. And now remember, for stores, these are the amounts. Now remember, for stores, the amount for subtotal was 64,400. But now, since we have no other additional information of stores, we're just going to put that amount up below it, just to show that all the amount of the store subtotal is going to be going out like that. And there's no total. So we're going to put the total on the right hand side. Again, we're going to find the total. So the total of subtotal plus our reabsorption stores. So let me illustrate. 315, which is this amount. 315, 880, plus with we get this amount, which is this subtotal. Then we get 220, 830, plus it with 34, and so on. So that's how we're going to solve it. We just keep plussing. We keep plussing for this ones, and we'll get subtotal this one. So I'm not going to do all of them because it's quite time consuming and mentally exhausting. But anyway, For absorption maintenance, we follow a similar step. Okay guys, so I think right now we're going to stop here for today, but in the next video, which is hopefully next week, we will continue first thing by learning how to solve reabsorption maintenance. Hopefully you've understood. Thank you for watching guys. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.